Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. So I just cut my finger open about 30 minutes ago, so if anything seems off in this video about my personality, or just I don't know if I seem like I have more energy or anything, it's probably my adrenaline kicking in, because you know, if it wasn't for that right now I'd probably be screaming in pain. But anywho, a lot of people are still trying to figure out whether or not they should trust a review on the Jaclyn Hill palette, but I have moved on to the next thing, and that next thing is the new Sephora Pro palettes. About a week ago, I want to say, someone asked me if you could review this, and she had sent me the Warm and Cool palette. While the Warm is very beautiful and the Cool I wasn't really feeling, I saw the editorial and was just like, boy, so I had to get it. So if you want to see a demo, swatches, and review of this palette, then stay tuned. Excuse me while I just gently place the box down on the ground. Please don't make a sound. Okay, so this is what the actual palette looks like, and what I noticed with the Warm, Cool, and Editorial is that the palette kind of matches, you know, like what's inside. So the Warm, the lettering is gold, I believe. The Cool palette, I think it's silver, and here it's this, you know, holographic iridescent blue. So just gonna open that up, and come on. Y'all gonna have to bear with me because your girl's only working with one hand right now, and I'm gonna have to try not to blind you, so let's hope that works. So this is what the actual palette looks like on the inside. Look at those colors. Oop, nope, wrong way. There we go. Okay, and I'm just gonna quickly give you some, you know, basic information, and we're gonna get right into this eye look. So this palette retails for $68. Yes, $68, and it claims it is a deluxe eyeshadow palette with 28 editorial color story shades, complete with a how-to tutorial pamphlet written by the Sephora Pro artists. I didn't see a pamphlet. I already put the box down, so we'll check later on during the review about the pamphlet, but you know, it says there's a pamphlet. 15 top makeup artists, this pro eyeshadow. It features 28 high pigment, high performance shades in chrome, matte, shimmer, and satin finishes to create endless editorial looks in high pigment color, metallic, and iridescent textures. It comes with instruction. All right, let's just get into the eye look, because it said the same thing about 3 times. So like I did in the Jaclyn palette review video, I will have the palette appear somewhere here on the screen so you can see what I'm doing without me having to hold up the palette each time, because now your girl really can't hold it up each time. Okay, so I'm a little bit more prepared this time around. I have more of an idea what I want to do with this. So I'm going to go in with this shade Eliza as my transition and crease color. Okay, I will take not expecting that for 500, Alex. Okay, when your girl said dive in, she did not mean to dive into the deep end. So this time around, sticking more with the, you know, kiddie pool area here, I'm going to go in with Electric Violet in my crease area using the Sigma E25. Okay, so this look was intended to be a cut crease, and that's what it's going to be. I messed up a little bit while cutting my crease, but it's okay. We're gonna fix it, and I used the Tarte Shape Tape to do that. Now I'm going to take the Sigma E54 and the shade Chris as my lid color. Okay, and then I'm gonna trace over where I cut my crease using the Urban Decay Heavy Metal Glitter Liner in Midnight Cowboy. Okay, so clearly not done here. I'm gonna go ahead and finish the rest of my face as usual and then come back with swatches and my final thoughts. Okay, so this is what my final look looks like. Let's just jump into some live swatches. Come on. Okay, probably should have picked a better outfit for this too, but I'm just going to go ahead and swatch some of the bottom row. Okay. 1, 2, 3. 4. So there are swatches of the first 4, and then we're just going to speed through the rest. So there is the entire bottom row. This is the second to last row. This is the second row. And last but not least, this is the top row of the palettes. Okay, so I forgot to mention it before, but I'm wearing the 2 shades Tila and Maisha on my bottom lash line, and then I'm wearing the shade Hector E on my inner corner. Now, getting into this palette, it is so pigmented. I think we saw that with the very first shade that I put on my lids. The shimmers are definitely a lot more pigmented than, well, the shimmers and the chromes and everything else are a lot more pigmented than the matte shades, but the matte shades are not to be slept on. Yeah, there are like 1 or 2 that might take a little more, you know, work as far as working with it on your lids, but they're definitely going to show. It will not be that much work, and it's great that they are so blendable. They are going to just blend into each other. They feel buttery. Yeah, they feel buttery, so that lets you know they're going to easily blend on your lids. And just like let's look at this palette. This is the outside of it. It's got that NARS kind of packaging. Your fingerprints are going to get all over it when you open it up. Okay, there is a big mirror that I can't even attempt to like hide so it won't blind you, but there is a big mirror here for anyone who prefers a mirror in your palette. And then looking at the inside of the palette, just look at those colors. I know that is something that people were a little about when this palette was shown, at least on Trend Mood. I feel like the whole summer, or just for the last, first 6 months of the year, everyone has been saying that every palette that comes out is the same warm, neutral eyeshadow palette. Even Sephora with these pro palettes released a warm palette. And everyone's just like, I don't like warm, you know, give us something new, give us something different. But I kid you not, I've watched like 8 or 9 anti-hauls, and I've seen people putting palettes like, you know, this palette and the Kat Von D Saints and Sinners palette, you know, colorful palettes in their anti-hauls, because it's not practical. Because when am I gonna use those? Because, you know, I wear my natural nudes and pinks and purples, and it's just like, what do y'all expect these companies to do? I'm assuming they're sitting in the boardroom just like. So I love the colors that are in here. Let's just get into some of the cons while I'm talking about that. While I do love the colors that are in here, and this definitely spoke to me, this is one of the first few purchases of this year that I'm actually really excited about. It might be a little hard getting full looks together. It wasn't that hard with this look that I came up with today. It was a little hard, not gonna lie. But you know, like if there was like a brown in here, it might make it a little bit easier. So that's something to keep in mind, that you might need other palettes when using this palette. You won't need them, but you know, for people who aren't so colorful and stuff like that, you know, that's something to keep in mind. Another thing that is a tad bit of a con with this is the kickback is just ridiculous with this palette. And if you don't know what I mean, looking at the palette, you see how there's kind of powder getting all over the place, and I'm trying to figure out if you can see it or not. How it kind of looks like this is a palette that I've been using for like weeks now and not a palette that I've been using for the last hour. The fallout is fierce with this one. There's definitely going to be fallout on your face, but I would rather just have fallout that I can wipe off than shadows that I can't blend. Now, like I mentioned before, this retails for $68, boo, okay? And when a lot of people heard that, they said, really? $68 for Sephora? I'll pass. I don't feel like this is a palette that you should pass on, whether it's this one if you're feeling bold and colorful, whether it's the warm one. Now the cool one, if you want to pass, I can understand, unless that's for you, you know, it's just not for me. But all three of them, I do not feel like they're a pass. I am really here for this palette. I'm here for the performance of this palette. I am here for the structure of the palette. Like, this is a good palette that you can travel with. It does come with a mirror. It is sturdy. I am just all the way here for this palette. I'll take the fallouts, and what else did I even complain about? The fallouts, the kickback, and the fact that you might have to play with some other palettes to get a full look, even though, you know, you won't have to, but you guys know what I mean by now. I like it. Okay, so that is it for this video. I hope seeing this on my face and hearing some of my thoughts has helped in your decision whether or not you're gonna try it out for yourself. Make sure to thumbs up, comment, and subscribe down below. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.